Hi everybody and welcome to Seeking the Sacred Earth. This is Totem Tuesday. We pulled Wild Boar, Swan in Reverse, and Skunk. So Wild Boar. This is an animal of great confrontational power. It is very territorial. It represents a lot of forward thrusting energy. Now we have a full moon in Aquarius on Thursday. This is going to illuminate a lot for us, both in our internal emotional process and in our relationships and work situations. So Wild Boar tells us to fearlessly confront what it is within that we have been resisting. Specifically, when I get these other cards, I believe it's about fear. Fears within that we're not looking at. Because when we hold on to fear and we don't acknowledge it, it really gums up the system. So Swan is asking you to, with grace and with gentleness, address the things that you have not been looking at so that you can turn this card right side up. And that will create a sense of flow, a sense of grace, a sense of inspiration coming directly from infinite spirit. But if we don't confront our fears, then we won't be able to access that beautiful energy that's going to help us find that peace and serenity and that state of like going with the flow. Now, Skunk, the third card, is very much a card of integrity. It is a card of walking your talk and really that internal life being congruent with how you're representing yourself in the world. When we're afraid of confronting our internal fears, our anger, our sadness, our depression, even like our patterns of addiction, our patterns of self-hatred, or our patterns of self-avoidance and ignoring the self, then we can't walk in the world with congruence. And that means that the signal we're sending out into the universe is thwarted. So we can't attract what we say that we want because that's not the vibration that's actually going on. So in this full moon, this is a perfect timing to be as graceful as you can with yourself and write down and list, what is it that I fear? Why am I fearing this? This was the first time where I felt this fear or this anxiety. And can you see, like, how is this fear and anxiety blocking me from feeling connected to infinite spirit, God, higher self, whatever it is that you call it? How can I let go of it so that I can be aligned, mind, body, and spirit, with what it is that I say that I want for my life? If this is in your life, if you're feeling a need to confront someone else or a situation, the message is be relentlessly honest with yourself, with what you have done. The word integrity is what is a representative word of skunk. So make sure that you are very clear about your part and the situations that you're in. Make very clear that you have taken that fearless moral inventory that all 12-step programs speak of, the fearless moral inventory. Well, the board is saying, go as deep as you can with that inventory to be kind and loving to yourself. What emotions are you not looking at that are creating incongruence in your life, blocking your connection to source and to intimacy and love with others? And then you will have a chance to be aligned. Because the signal we're putting out, the universe hears what we feel. And even though we can intellectually say like, okay, these are my goals and these are my mantras and these are my affirmations, if you're not feeling those things to be true, you can't actually pull it in. So the universe is listening to how we feel. And we can only release the negative feelings if we're looking at them. If we deny them, they create this swan in reverse, which is emotional clumsiness, physical clumsiness, things going wrong because you're not ultimately aligned with your inner North Star, with that beacon system that is our emotional life. So I hope this helps you guys navigate this full moon and this week. You know, the wild boar, it's so interesting. We get this card because there is this influx of energy coming in cosmically. Jupiter has just gone direct and Uranus has gone retrograde. So in one way, we're really seeing clearly where we can call in abundance and the dreams that we do want. But Uranus, this planet, is all about mind expansion, and it's saying, wait a second, let's go back. Let's go back and really excavate and be honest about what would be holding us back from our signal and our emotional state not being congruent to what we say we want. Is it aligned with how we're actually feeling? A good way to do this is to list the fears, to list the anxieties, and either, write through them. What is the worst case scenario? And oftentimes it's never as bad as you think. But because we don't want to look at those fears, they build and they build and they build like ghosts, like monsters under the bed. So confront those monsters under the bed this week so that you can get that beautiful incoming flow that we're going to feel with this moon. It's going to feel good if we do the work so that we can walk our talk. What's the worst case scenario? And that fear of not walking your talk is people being like, well, they're a hypocrite. So let's work really hard this week to really be disciplined about being honest about where we are emotionally and how we can let it go so that we can benefit from the good energy around us, and also so that we can be good to the people around us. Ultimately, fear is what separates us from love. And if we can at least acknowledge it, it's halfway out the door, which means that now there's more room for love to flow in. So I hope this helps you guys this week. If you know of someone that this message will speak to, please send it on to them. And of course, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the website. There's so much that I'm offering to you guys. And most of all, have a blessed, blessed full moon. I hope you guys can access the higher vibes. I know I'm going to do the work today too in my journal to really take that fearless boar energy, to take that fearless moral inventory, to find that good juicy flow so that we're not gumming up the works of all the good that God, the universe, your higher self wants to give you, so we can feel that sense of integrity, that sense of real worthiness that comes from knowing you're acting in integrity, you're being honest with yourself, and therefore other people can trust you. All right, guys. Namaste.